Hey guys, it's Pop. And in today's video, I wanted to go through an amazing game I tried last night called Supermarket Together. Now, this is a free game on Steam, which is essentially a supermarket simulator, but it's multiplayer. So you can play with your friends and create your very own supermarket. Let's talk through some of the things that we did during this, because I thought it was very fun. So you start out on the street corner, and there's not much going on, just some people walking by. I initially wanted to make sure I had my settings correct, which were not a big deal. It's a very interesting world. When you walk around, you can see people just walking down the street. And initially, your supermarket's called Supermarket, surprisingly, but you can rename it later on. And you start with this one building right here. Not very big, but you can expand it later. Initially, I didn't really know what I was doing, but then I figured out that you go in the side door to actually enter in. You'll come over to the side door where it says, "Only cool people allowed." Not sure what that's all about, but hopefully I'll figure that out soon. And surprisingly, there's an elephant with a hat and a couple of computers there. Probably can use that later on. And here we are, the manager blackboard, and it looks like we have a skill tree. This is where we expand our storage space and shop space. You start with one franchise point available, which you use to unlock basic products. But you can work your way up to hiring various employees, getting snacks. Later on, you'll be able to assign various employees to their jobs, whether they are being a cashier, restocking, or storage. You press this green button to open the supermarket. Unfortunately, I did that right away, and this was before I had actually built anything, so I opened my supermarket and there was nothing in there. Uh-oh. Looks like customers are going to start walking in, so I better get to work. I tried to reclose it, but nope, it's open for the day. So I had to hurry, figure out what to do. I started by placing some shelves along the wall. It has a really nice builder tool where you can rotate the items around, place them exactly where you want them. Very cool. I ended up selling on 2 product shelves to start the day, and then I created a storage shelf, which is kind of unnecessary when you're first starting out, but eventually you'll need one. Then I put down the checkout counter. I chose the right-facing one, that just seemed more natural to me. This seems like a good spot. And I used my first franchise point for basic products, which gives us pasta, water, cereal, rice, salt, etc. And then I proceeded to go over to the manager blackboard and order some items. You start out with quite a few dollars in your bank account, so you can easily afford all these items. Once you order the items, they instantly appear on the street in some boxes. So you pick them up and go back in and place the products on the shelves. At this point, I already had customers in the store before I had even stocked the shelves. Oops. Once I had all my products out, I had to change the prices a little bit because we didn't want to just sell the items for what we paid for them, otherwise we wouldn't make any money whatsoever. So I initially chose to try to sell them at maybe, say, a penny or so above the price, just to make a little bit of profit. This turned out to be kind of a mistake. At this point, we already had customers waiting in line, so I promptly started checking them out. Customers in this game will pay you either cash or card. If they pay you in cash, you have to count out the change manually, basically clicking the amount that you'd like to give them back. This is a little bit of a pain, but it's just part of the experience of being a cashier. Luckily, some customers pay you in card, so it's much easier. You can just type out the numbers to give them back. As the day went on, it started to get dark outside, and since I didn't have any lighting, it was starting to get dark in the store. Before I knew it, it was 10:30 at night, and time to end the day. Not bad, but we did have a negative balance at the end of the day. Thankfully, no one robbed our store. And then began day 2. I started the day looking at the supplies that I had and also see if I could update the pricing, because obviously we had lost money the previous day, so just going with the pricing that we already had wasn't going to cut it. I decided to round everything up to the nearest dollar, thinking that that would just make it easier for counting out change. I had some kind of bug where on the top right corner of the screen, this purple box would not go away no matter what I did, so I decided to restart the game. Unfortunately, when I did that, I lost all the changes from the previous day, so I had to do them all over again. And then we started our day 2. More checking out customers. It was very fun. I definitely enjoyed that part of it. A viewer in my chat suggested renaming the store to Pop's Produce, so we went ahead and tried that. That looks nice. Since the prior day was very busy, I decided to restock the shelves. I started experimenting with a little iPad device that's on the counter there. It lets you place various items like plants, a TV, lighting, etc. Decided not to go with the TV. It seemed like a little bit too early to start putting TVs in my store. But that might have been helpful for the customers. And that's when I decided to start doing some lighting. Unfortunately, I went a little crazy and spent a lot of money on lighting. That made it very bright in the store. At that point, a viewer in my chat wanted to join my game, so I had to quit the game to go back and open the game to the public. Our store needed a new name, so we changed it to Cat Jam. Very happy with that. Unfortunately, opening the game to the public actually caused some major problems because I had some troll people from the internet join my game and spend all of my money. So that did not go over very well. We were broke. They started causing havoc by moving stuff around, expanding my store when I didn't need it yet, moving the registers around, blocking the customers. It was not a fun experience. And then we got robbed for the first time. That was my introduction to some of the unscrupulous characters that can come into your store. Suddenly, our store was a mess. We had no items. There was these floating pasta things going on. Nobody was working. Things were a little bit chaotic. So I went back to the register. And that's when I started getting attacked by the trolls online. They picked up a broom and kept attacking me, knocking me down to the floor. I had had about enough. I tried to fight back, but I just couldn't. I guess you could say it was assault. It was at that point that I had to just quit the game. We reopened it with an only friends setting so that the online trolls could not join my supermarket. And we were back in business. Cat Jam was open. We restocked the shelves, added more lighting, and expanded the supermarket. Unfortunately, with $34 in the bank, we were broke. At the end of day 3, we had lost another $2,000. We restocked the shelves with what little money we had left, and by the end of the day, our shelves were almost empty. All we had was salt and water left and $5 to our name. At the end of day 4, we had lost $228. Day 5 began, and we had some dairy products, but no refrigerator would put them. So they just had to stay in the stock room. We had to increase our prices on the salt and water since that's all we had left. Later in the day, all we had was salt left. So I renamed the store Only Salt. That seemed appropriate. Once we had enough money, we bought water, and I changed the store name to Saltwater. By the end of day 5, things were looking bleak. We had barely any money, and just salt. We scrounged together enough money to put up some cereal, and we were hopeful that a new day would bring some more customers. We raised our prices slightly to try to help out. And that's when I had an aha moment, that I could sell the lighting we previously bought to try to make up for our lack of money. So I sold all of our lighting. This gave us enough money to buy a basic fridge, which we could put our dairy products out into. Even though the store was dark, the dairy products were actually quite a hit. They sold pretty well. At the end of day 6, we had lost more money, but we had more hope. Day 7, we were able to unlock some soda. Customers started making a mess in the store, which you have to clean up with the broom. And we had a robbery. I tried to chase the woman down, but she just kept running. I was bound and determined that the next robbery I would stop. More trash cleanup. Ugh. End of day 7, we had lost a little bit money and were robbed twice. We started stocking the shelves with soda. Then we got robbed again, but this time I was prepared. A couple of swipes of the broom, and the robber dropped all of the materials that she had stolen. Thankfully, you can pick the items up off the ground. After playing a little while longer, I was ready to call it a day. My overall impression of the game, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it since it's free, you can play with other people, and it's just really a good time. If you like this review of Supermarket Together, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Also, stop by and say hi when I'm live on Twitch. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.